More time. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Ian Patterson, CIO of Scottrade.
Ian, what are the trends you're looking for immediately, immediate needs you have, and then yet the macro trends of what Scottrade needs for the long future?
I think immediately we're looking at everything from development resources that have .NET and Java and C++ skills to people who have project management skills, business systems analyst skills, and infrastructure skills. It's kind of across the board, server, network, storage. I think on a macro perspective, what we're really looking is for people who can analyze and solve problems. That's really the big issue. You need people who can get to the issue resolution and solve problems. From a infrastructure or a development perspective, we can train and we can hire people that we know have those types of traits and train them up to what we really need.
So, what are the challenges you're having just with hiring? I mean, how are you finding good people?
It's really just a lack of resources across the U.S. right now. It's extremely difficult to find people who have the base skills out there that are ready to come on board and develop or work in project management. I think the best way to look at it, another thing from your previous question that I would add is we're looking for people that have a drive. That drive is really, really critical in the discussions I have with people in interviews. If you want to be a person sitting in a cube, kind of that gopher that's popping his head up out of a cube, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to walk around, get to solutions, find the answers to problems. That's the type of person that we're looking for.
All right, then let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'm looking for a job at Scottrade. How would I go about presenting myself?
I think first is your online presence. Whether you're coming through a website to us, we're an online company. We look at what everybody has out online. Trying to make sure that you aren't just a generic person out there, making sure that you really want to look at something at Scottrade is critical. Secondly, when you get in, it's making sure that everything you're putting in the system, your references, everything that you have, are easily taken care of and tracked. It's surprising to me how many people, we do all of our references online. It's surprising to me how many people would put references out there and then have a difficult time when we try to get in touch with them, even getting in contact with those references.
That's a really good point. Can you think of though, like maybe one or two hires where they presented themselves so well, you're like, oh my God, these guys, they're the model of how you should do it.
Oh yeah, I can think of a number of them, but it's really the things that I was talking about earlier. Having that online presence, looking at what you're doing online, because we look at everything that you do online, looking at how your references check out, making sure that the people that you said we could get in contact with are there, and then the actual interviews. Having that ability to listen and respond with critical opportunities. For example, when we have it's a behavioral interviewing concept. When we ask you a question, have you ever had a time that you've done X? You better have 2 or 3 times in your back pocket that you can discuss how you've done it, because that's going to give us the understanding that your past behaviors are going to show us what you can do in the future.
Give me the exact interview question. What are the tough interview questions you give?
Tell me about a time that you had to work with the business in a situation where you really didn't have detailed requirements. How did you get those requirements from the business?
So I better know 2 to 3 stories of just that.
That's exactly correct.
And really, it's kind of the stories that sort of sells the individual, yes?
Absolutely. Again, your past behaviors are going to show us what you're going to do in the future.